I will be using this manual transmission and clutch simulator to explain the function of the release bearing, which is often called the throwout bearing. The release bearing slides on the input shaft quill. When it makes contact with a rotating pressure plate diaphragm spring, the ball bearings in the release bearing provide a rotational surface to prevent frictional wear during diaphragm spring rotational contact. There's a hole cut into the top of the bell housing to view the release bearing operation. The electric motor and drive belt will simulate the running of an engine. Because this is a hydraulically controlled clutch, the release bearing is always in contact with the pressure plate and therefore it is always rotating and in operation. In this condition there is very little load on the bearing. This bearing is defective and you can hear some abnormal noises coming from the bearing. Every time I apply the clutch, you can hear the noise tone change when the bearing is pressed against the pressure plate spring. In this demonstration, I have 3 throwout bearings or release bearings. I have a bearing here that is in good shape. I have one that has some wear, although you can't feel the wear when you spin it by hand very much. I have one really bad one that you can hear. And let me put the microphone really close. I want to demonstrate the function of these bearings and the noises you will hear. And we'll move these off to the side slightly. In order to load this up, I have a complete clutch assembly right here with the flywheel on it. I'm going to rest the throwout bearing right here on the diaphragm fingers and spin it. This weight of this flywheel is going to add extra pressure onto that bearing and load it up, and if it's bad, it will make more noise. That sounds really silent. And with all bearings, the more you load them and the faster you spin them, the more noise they're going to make. So let's try the marginal bearing here and see what happens with that one. So here you can hear a little bit of it. Listen quietly. Let's put the flywheel on there and try this one. So for this last bearing, and what we are going to see, is that it won't even spin. Even if I reach down and hold it, it wants to fall off because it just doesn't spin freely at all. So this is lightly spinning it, and this is pushing hard. So these bearings are load sensitive. The more pressure you put on a bearing, the louder the noise if it's bad.